Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Gripe, the show for short, sweet reviews of new release movies, plus the one thing that annoyed me the most. And today I'm going to be talking about Deepwater Horizon. Months behind and over budget, the Deepwater Horizon is under pressure to drill a new well. But when things get rushed, something goes very, very wrong. The film stars Mark Wahlberg, Kurt Russell, Kate Hudson, Gina Rodriguez, Dylan O'Brien, and John Malkovich. The film is directed by Peter Berg. Disaster movies are a curious genre because they require suspense, but you know that the disaster is going to happen, you just don't know when. So you know something is going to happen, but the suspense is about when it does happen and then the survival after that. Because then the film becomes about those who persevered through it. Deepwater Horizon is just like any other disaster movie. It follows the formula. Now, this is based on a true story of the events that occurred starting in April of 2010, and the progression of the plot is minimally accurate. They changed some names, they omitted fault, they definitely took some people out of it that definitely should have been named in it. John Malkovich's character really takes on the role of the villain in pushing them to move forward despite the protection and safety risks that they identified. And that's not exactly how it happened. There is some truth in it, but it's mostly dramatized. Otherwise, the explosion itself is close to what actually happened, and that's the part that obviously people are more interested. The truth, not so much, but the action explosion, that's what they're interested in. The film is directed by Peter Berg, who directed movies like Lone Survivor, The Kingdom, and Friday Night Lights. His direction in this movie is solid. The action is certainly intense and gripping, but my biggest complaint is that his movies never feel like his movies. They always draw inspiration from other directors like Michael Mann or Tony Scott, people who've been there before. And in this case, it's almost like watching a Paul Greengrass movie, like a combination of both Captain Phillips and United 93. But the drama isn't as natural as you would get with somebody like Greengrass, who is very good at creating natural drama. And this reminded me a lot of United 93 in its execution, but there's certainly a lot more melodrama in this one than what you got in a movie like that. The cast, though, does a fine job of portraying a very blue-collar type of world, and that's not meant to be an insult. It's something that is a reflection of this world, the world of oil drillers in the ocean. And it does show that this event had an effect on working class men and women as well as their families. And Wahlberg does a decent job. Russell certainly commands the screen as he always does. And John Malkovich is John Malkovich. He just has a very deep Cajun accent. And one person I was really impressed with was Gina Rodriguez, who I haven't seen in anything else. She does a great job in having a fairly pivotal role in this story. So what is my key gripe? Well, it's an entertaining movie. It's fairly well done and well acted. So what's my problem with it? I'm going to pick on why this movie was made in the first place. Look, I'm all for history, even recent history, but I cannot for the life of me parse out why this was released now. What makes this movie pertinent to 2016, which is only 6 years after this event happened? United 93 had a similar feeling when it came out, but the thing is that filled in blanks without taking too many liberties with the drama. Deepwater Horizon, on the other hand, seems to be using this tragedy as a cash grab. That isn't to say it isn't effective, it just doesn't seem relevant to today. Like, the point of the movie is what, aside from reminding us of the disaster? It certainly shows us the heroes, but it doesn't show us the villains for who they really were in this disaster, in this real disaster. It's telling that my criticism is the very existence of this film and not the film itself. Because like I said, it is a well-made movie, but the why of the story is never really explored. And they had plenty of opportunity. They had actually a perfect opportunity to do so at the end, to say this is why this story is relevant today. And they didn't. They really left a lot on the table as to what this movie could have said to the audience in 2016. Because an event like this can still speak to us even if it's a recent event, but they never really explored that, and it makes it just a generic disaster movie at the end of the day. I feel like stories based on true events like this need to have that message more so than just the heroes. We want to know about the heroes and the people who persevered through this event, but we also want to know what happened to the people who are responsible, because in a movie like this, that is just as critical as the people who persevered. Overall, this movie is intense and kind of moody throughout, but it doesn't pull punches in showing you how dangerous and devastating this event truly was. The only punches pulled were the ones indicting those responsible for this tragedy. I'm going to give this movie a 7 out of 10 for being a well-done movie, but doesn't seem to hit home the impact that it needs to have in 2016. Let me know what you thought of Deepwater Horizon, if you liked it or didn't like it, or what your thoughts are on the impact of the movie. And that's it for this episode of Key Gripe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye. Hey everyone, thanks for watching this video. If you liked it, you can click over here to subscribe to my channel, or you can check out my website over here at dkestner.com, where you can find out more about everything I do, including the books I've written, like Elliot Knoll, and so many others. So thanks a lot for watching.